My performance doesn't mean nothing. My performance is whether or not we put a W in the winning column or L in the losing column. So I didn't do my job today, so I played bad. They just executed harder than we did. They wanted to come off screens harder than we didn't want them to come off screens. So that allowed them to hit some open shots, get some good looks. We swung and missed a couple times, and they hit a couple threes off that. So yeah, we preach win each 4 minutes, and then they kind of took it at us that 4 minutes, and we fought hard, but we didn't come up with the result that we wanted to. Yeah, we're gonna need Reggie to play well. Like you said, he's been struggling, but he's a good player. So he's gonna. I knew he would come out of the slump, and that's what I told him. I told him it's just a slump, and yeah, just keep playing. Don't really think about it too much, and that's what he did. I'm happy he got going tonight because we're gonna need him in order to get to where we want to get at the end of the season. No, I didn't get to see it. I felt like I knew I touched it, but I felt like he touched it last because, yeah, just in the heat of the moment, I could have sworn he touched it last. But, you know, we get calls, we don't get calls. That's just how the game goes. So Hawk, he'll go crazy over there fighting for us. So, yeah, we appreciate that. But, yeah, I don't know what caused the technical because, like you said, he always does that. So, yeah, it was surprising to me. But, like I said, you get calls, you don't get calls. I thought the rest did a great job tonight, too. It's good to know your coach, you know, is fighting for you. And because there's certain stuff you can't say to refs and stuff while you're playing. So, and he could get away with because he has a better relationship with those type of guys. So, yeah, it's good to see your coach fighting for you. I just think coming out each 4 minutes and paying attention to scouting report. I feel like tonight it was a couple times where we got away from our scouting report. And when we went to SLU, St. Louis University, I think that's what we did a great job of is paying attention to scouting report and executing that scouting report. Tonight I feel like we did it in spurts, but the times we didn't do it, it came back and bit us. So.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really good basketball game. You know, two teams really went at it. It was a strange game. You know, I thought it was very entertaining if you're a fan. Wrong team won. But, you know, there was a stretch in the first half where the whistle didn't blow. I mean, our guys there was two punch-drunk teams out there. You know, they were just going back and forth. And, you know, and then they caught fire from three. And, you know, it wasn't like we didn't know that was coming. You know, and that was where we failed. The game came down to that. They outscored us, you know, 8 times 3, you know, 24 points at the three-point line. You know, they had 14, we had 6, if my math is right. You know, and so that was really the game, and we lost some guys in that we just couldn't afford to lose. Mainly Walker. You know, we helped off of him a little bit too much in the first half. A couple of times, you know, and once he gets it going, he can really get it going. You know, a couple of second chances, opportunities where they kick the ball out and knock down threes. You know, just little thing here, little thing there. Everybody's going to point to the 3-point deficit, and that was certainly mathematically that was the problem. But technically, there were other things. We didn't get back in transition. We had that stretch when Thomas went out due to foul trouble, and they took advantage of us a little bit there, and they really pushed it. You know, and you know, we're gonna look back at film and see that transition defense was an issue for us when it shouldn't have been. I'm very interested in coaching the next game. So I don't want to get too deep into it. You know, I've never had that happen to me before. It was not in the direction of the official. I was not upset with the officiating. We were frustrated with something that had happened on the floor. And, yeah, I turned around and you know, kicked the table, and it makes a noise. And yes, I've done that before. I don't really know why I got teed up for it. I didn't get a good explanation as to why that was. He told me he knew that it was not a, he knew that it wasn't directed towards him. But I think it's probably going to be blamed on bench decorum. That it'll probably come down to is probably what is going to be the explanation. But you know, I've never had that happen to me before, ever.
The you would.
But let me add to that. I do need, just like our own guys, I do need to make sure that, I learn from the game as much as they learn from the game. So there's going to be things scouting report wise, and there's going to be things on film that the guys made mistakes on, and I can't. I mean, if that's going to get called, then I've got to be very careful about my demeanor on the bench here. Also, it's a veteran officiating group. I was surprised that it happened, and especially because they know me. They know me and Camp real well. We're both animated guys, and so I was surprised by it. But rest assured, I won't be, especially with that official. I won't be trying that again. Well, there were two or three things. When the ball went into Hayes, we did not want to help off of our guys, on the perimeter. We wanted to fake at them and then quickly get back to the three-point shooters. Three-point shooters mainly being Nunn and Walker and Daniels. Those are the guys that can really hurt you from three. And we helped. We played St. Louis the other day, and when French went to work inside, we covered down hard, and we were able to get steals. We were able to get rips from him, and then we were heading in the other direction, and it paid off well for us. Today, when we went down there, which we weren't supposed to do, we were supposed to fake and get back to our guy, and just put a little hesitation in Hayes' game. But we were supposed to get back to our guy. Today we went down there too heavy a couple of times in the first half. And that's where he got a couple of three balls off. And then it happened again in the second half. Then the other thing that they do with Nunn, and we knew it was coming, was the triple. They set triple screen along the baseline. He comes off that screen, and there was too much separation. We didn't stay what we call chest to chest. We didn't stay attached. And when he caught it, he had enough room to get off the shot. Those are things that I will, I'll tell you, I'll tell whoever's watching, as well, that the same thing I told the kids, and that is, this time of year, that's a great lesson for us. A loss is only a loss if you don't learn from it. And there's going to be plenty here in this game that we'll have a chance to look at, because that's a MAC style game, right there. Those are two really good basketball teams battling it out. And it ended up being a 2-possession game. They had 2 free throws at the end. It's basically a 1-possession game down there at the end. And there's a mistake. It's a mistake here, it's a mistake there, and it costs you the ball game. We're going to be able to look at plenty and grow from it. No, I mean, this is why there's no place I'd rather coach. Our fans are awesome, and this place can get loud. This can get really loud. They love their Broncos. That's why I love them. We'll get these little things corrected that we're going to be able to go back on film. We always get better as the year progresses. Our teams have notoriously, I don't like it, but our teams have notoriously gotten off to a little bit of a slow start. Some of it has to do with our non-conference schedule, who we play. When we come back like that, our fans were terrific. The energy's great. This is going to be a fun season. This is going to be a fun season. Our fans are going to enjoy watching this team play, and we'll get better. We'll get better as the season progresses, and we're not. It was weird. We were in South Carolina, and I had a reporter tell me this is a really strange team because you are a young, experienced team. And I never really thought about it like that. We still playing a lot of sophomores, some juniors, and obviously Drake and Thomas are out there as seniors, and so we got to get the guys grown up a little bit more, and we've got to stop these mistakes. This is going to be a perfect game to learn from. This one stings. I hate it. Hate losing ever, anywhere to anybody. Doesn't matter whether we're playing a game of Monopoly at home. I can't stand losing. And there will never be an excuse for it. But it's my job as a coach to make sure that they understand why we lost the game, and then we get better from it. We will. Yeah, I mean, the one thing you see in Thomas and Drake is you see the urgency, okay, because their time's ticking. They see this, and it's amazing what happens to your practices and to games when you get into your senior year. These are limited. This is a game you can't get back. This is a game we can't get back. But in your senior year, this is a game he can't get back, and it's a home loss. And those things are going to sting a whole heck of a lot more in your senior year. We got some freshmen out there right now that are going to be like, okay, and they'll go on about their business tonight, on a Saturday night on campus, and they'll come in bouncing around on Monday. They haven't learned yet the urgency that and some of our sophomores haven't learned the urgency at which you have to work, practice, and play. And there's only one way to do that, and that's through the School of Hard Knocks. This is the reason we recruit freshmen, and we don't take transfers, and we don't, it's not that we won't ever. We haven't taken a lot of JC kids, certainly in the past, and that is because, I want to see the Thomas Wilders. It just hurts more. There's sweat equity by the time you get to your junior and senior season. You look at Bryce, you look at Josh, you look at Drake, you look at Thomas, and then Seth being out. It's killing Seth to be out. Those are juniors, seniors, and you can see it really bother them. It's great for our freshmen and even our sophomores to take a look next to them and say, ooh, this is the way it's done. Last year we only had one senior. So we'll get there. Like I said, I'm not worried about, I've got faith in the locker room, and I know what's going to happen from a coaching staff standpoint. I know what's going to happen from a film standpoint. And, this is another unique team that we've played in the offseason. We've played so many unique games already. And so this is another one, and it's good for us. It's really good for us. I hate losing, but we'll really learn from this. Yeah, we need it. We really need it. We talked as a coaching staff yesterday before practice, and we said, we've got to find a way to get Reggie going. Josh has really come on this year and is playing terrific, and we've got to continue to find. The Reggie that we had for those last 10 games of the year last year when we went on our run, we've got to get him. And he's been struggling with confidence, struggling with the shot. I thought that he really was aggressive at the rim, and that's the best way for us to get him going is to get him posted up. And then after he got that going and got into the flow of the game, then he knocked down the three and he started feeling good about things. He's got to get better defensively. And he's making real effort. And that's the reason Josh has been in there more, is Josh has been great defensively and good offensively. Reggie's a talented guy. We got to get him further along defensively, and he's working at it. He's really working at it. This group will improve. There's a lot of room for improvement. And like I said, it's great that if you're going to pick up losses and you're going to learn lessons, it's good that it happens in a non-conference game this early. And with Seth being out, that everybody will get better for it.